Hello and welcome to another lecture on post-colonial literature. Now, in our previous meeting, if you remember, we discussed how the military and economic processes of colonialism is integrally associated with a peculiar kind of discourse, which we refer to as the colonial discourse. And we also studied Orientalism as an example of this colonial discourse. And so how through the discourse of Orientalism, places like Egypt, places like India were transformed into passive objects of knowledge for the European colonizer. And we also saw the use of colonial discourse to justify the process of colonialism. So, a colonial discourse like Orientalism, for instance, which constructs the Arabs and the Indians as barbaric, ignorant and childlike creatures, presents European colonialism as a civilizing mission rather than an exploitative economic enterprise. And the argument is actually very clear here. The argument that a colonial discourse makes is that colonialism, by exposing these less civilized people like the Arabs, for instance, or the Indians to the more civilized Europeans, actually benefit them more because they get enlightened than they benefit the Europeans. So, it is ultimately colonialism, according to the colonial discourse, is ultimately beneficial to the colonized subjects. And so, therefore, I mean, in other words, through colonialism, the adult and civilized European is seen as leading the childlike Oriental natives to civilizational maturity. Now, however, at this point, it is important to note that Orientalism was not the only instance of colonial discourse. It was one example, and if you look at the European colonialism of Africa, for instance, that carved up that entire continent into colonies for European countries like Britain, for instance, France, Belgium, Germany, etc., during the late 19th century, we encounter another instance of colonial discourse associated with this process. And this discourse, of course, has its focus on Africa. And though it is distinct from Orientalism, the underlying logic is very similar. And it is similar because in the colonial discourse on Africa, Africans are presented as barbaric, as childlike, who need the guidance of enlightened Europeans to reach civilizational maturity. So, in other words, the late 19th century European colonialism of Africa, just like the European colonization of the Orient before that, was explained away as a civilizing mission, which was more beneficial again to the colonized than to the colonizer. So, in today's lecture, we are basically going to talk about this colonial discourse, which had its focus on Africa, and the bizarre ways in which it twisted the colonial reality. And we are going to talk about this with reference to one of the classics of British fiction. The name of the novel that we are going to deal with today is Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. But before we move on to the novel, let me introduce you to the novelist Joseph Conrad. And here in this slide you can see his image, and you can also see his dates. Conrad was born in 1857 in present day Ukraine in a family of Polish aristocrats, landed gentry. He died in 1924, and if you read about Conrad's life, it is very interesting to note that though Conrad later went on to become a very celebrated English novelist, he only learned English in his 20s. So, he did not know the English language before that. And it was in 1886 that Conrad took British citizenship, and his first novel written in English was published as late as 1895, and the name of that novel was Almayer's Folly. Following the publication of Almayer's Folly in 1895, Conrad went on to publish other powerful tales like The Nigger of Narcissus, Heart of Darkness, which we are going to discuss today, Lord Jim, and Nostromo. And in this slide you can see the dates of their publication given within parentheses. And in many of these fictions that I have referred to just now, Conrad's acquaintance with the sea and with distant lands as a professional sailor — Conrad was a professional sailor at one point of time in his career — is prominently reflected in most of these novels. And in fact, the novel Heart of Darkness, which we are going to discuss today, also had its origin in one of Conrad's journeys as a sailor. So, in 1890, Conrad sailed for the Congo region in West Africa, and Congo region is this shaded region here roughly. This actually this map is of a present day country called the Democratic Republic of Congo, but roughly this is the Congo region. So, Conrad in 1890 went to this region, and he went on behalf of a Belgian company, because he was commissioned by that company to take charge as captain of one of the company's steamers that plied along the Congo River. King Leopold II, the ruler of Belgium at that point of time, had recently annexed large portions of the Congo basin as Belgian colony. He had done that in 1870s to be precise, and when Conrad visited the area in 1890, it had already become infamous as a site of inhuman colonial brutalities and exploitation. And Heart of Darkness, on the one hand, is a documentation of these European brutalities meted out to the local African populations, and on the other hand, it is a meditation on the gap between this brutal physical reality of the colonial process and the colonial discourse generated from within the metropolis, which presented this process as a civilizing mission. So, it is a meditation on the gap between the discourse which presents colonialism as a civilizing mission and the brutal reality of the colonial process. One can follow this gap between the colonial discourse and the colonial process in Conrad's novel by focusing on the title of the novel, Heart of Darkness. So, in the novel, the character Marlowe, who is a very important character, is commissioned by a Belgian company to journey to Congo, and here Marlowe reflects Conrad's own journey to a certain extent. And Marlowe is supposed to go there, take charge of a boat that plied along the Congo River, and he was also supposed to locate a somewhat mysterious person called Kurtz, Kurtz. And I encourage you to read the novel, because then these names will be more familiar and the incidents that I am talking about will be more familiar. So, Kurtz is a character who is only gradually represented to the reader, and this gradual unfolding of the character of Kurtz is really what the story of the novel is all about. But what is known at the very outset is that Kurtz is a European agent who works for the same Belgian company which hired Marlowe, and he is located deep within Africa, deep within this Congo region. So, at one level it is Marlowe's journey to the depth of Africa which is signified as a journey to the heart of darkness. The heart of darkness of the title actually signifies at one level this journey of Marlowe to the heart of Africa. But what is the connection between Africa and darkness? Well, Africa in colonial discourse was frequently referred to as the dark continent, and this darkness has actually nothing to do with lack of sunlight in Africa. Africa gets plenty of sun. This darkness actually is a reference to lack of knowledge about Africa. So, for Europeans, the interior of Africa remained an uncharted and unmapped territory well into the 20th century. And therefore, in European maps, which represented for the Europeans the known world, the continent of Africa remained a blank space. And because it remained a blank, unmapped, unknown space, it was referred to as the dark continent. But within the European colonial discourse on Africa, the contrast between darkness and light also signified a moral opposition, and this is something very important that you need to understand. So, Africa was dark because it was considered as barbaric, primitive and childish, which was unable to distinguish between what was morally good and what was evil. And Europe, in contrast, represented the forces of light, of knowledge, of civilization, because it was perceived as progressive and as mature. And it was also considered as a force, as a power, which was dedicated to the mission of bringing enlightenment, the light of civilization, to the colonized subjects in Africa. And it is this light and darkness binary of the colonial discourse that Conrad puts to test in his novel Heart of Darkness. So, what happens in the novel after Marlowe journeys to Africa? Well, when Marlowe lands in Africa, his first port of call is referred to as the outer station. And during the course of the novel, Marlowe will move across many such stations bearing very generic names like outer station, central station and inner station. What are these stations? What do they represent? Well, they are actually sites of interaction, sites of European settlement, sites of European colonial activity, and therefore, they are sites of interaction between the European colonizers and the colonized natives of Africa. And following the logic of the colonial discourse, they are also sites of progress and of civilization, right? Yet the reality which confronts Marlowe in these stations is radically different. So, for instance, in the outer station segment of the novel, Marlowe witnesses an attempt to build a railway track. Now, the reference to railway is important because if anything was ever touted as a sign of progress in civilization that European colonizers brought to the colonized parts of the world, it was railways. It still is, in fact. The apologists of colonialism still refer to railway tracks in India, for instance, as the boon of colonialism. However, in Conrad's novel, this notion of progress and development that the railways signified within the colonial discourse is undercut in two major ways. Firstly, while Marlowe witnesses the attempt to construct a railway project, it it does not appear to him as a project that will bring progress in any way. Rather, it appears to him as an enormous folly. So, Marlowe, for instance, finds that machineries and rail tracks have been brought from Europe, and a lot of blasting of cliffs and the nearby landscape was taking place. But Marlowe could not see any visible sign of progress. The machineries that he witnessed were evidently decaying, and the railway tracks, as soon as they were being laid, were being consumed by the forests of Africa. Clearly, the very attempt to build a railway is perceived by Marlowe as a futile project because it neglects the immediate context. Railways, like much of the other things that the colonizer brought with him to the parts of the world that they colonized, tried to replicate the notions of progress as developed in Europe and implement that onto lands which were geographically, socially, culturally very different. And the railways in Congo suffers from this lack of context. It is a European thing that is being forcefully replicated in an African landscape. And because of this, the railways, rather than becoming a symbol of progress in the novel, becomes a symbol of an alien endeavor, which represents a certain kind of foolhardiness. The novel also undermines the project of railway building and its association with progress by questioning about the beneficiaries of this so-called progress. So, when we talk about the European colonialism ushering in progress and development in the colonized parts of the world, it is always important to ask the question, progress for whom? As Marlowe realizes, if the railways being built in Congo was supposed to bring civilization and progress to the native population of Africa, then that was proving to be a signal failure. Why? Because the project, rather than elevating the positions of Africans, rather than ennobling them, had actually, as Marlowe witnessed it, had actually transformed them into bonded laborers who were toiling to complete a foolhardy work that was thrust on them by the colonizing outsiders. The Africans, in fact, that Marlowe observes near the railway site in the outer station are found tied in chains, walking desolately with basket full of earth on their heads. This is what the promise of colonial progress achieves in Africa. It tears the native population from their own social and cultural fabric and converts them into chained brutes. Now, at this point, it is important to take note of one of the narrative techniques that Conrad uses in this novel to tell the tale of European colonialism of Africa. And this technique is best understood as a delayed decoding of the external reality, as a delayed decoding. So, while narrating his experiences in Africa, Marlowe tells of how he perceived the reality that surrounded him through his sense organs, and it is only after a delay that Marlowe as well as the reader actually gets to understand what these sense impressions actually mean. To understand this technique, let us consider these lines from the novel, where Marlowe is describing his experience in the outer station, where the work for the railways is going on. Black shapes crouched, lay, sat between the trees, leaning against the trunks, clinging to the earth, half coming out, half effaced within the dim light, in all the attitudes of pain, abandonment and despair. Another mine on the cliff went off, followed by a slight shudder of the soil under my feet. the work was going on, the work. And this was the place where some of the helpers had withdrawn to die. Now, the first line presents a bizarre landscape of black shapes which confronts Marlowe's eyes, even while his other sense organs are overwhelmed by the constant blasting that is taking place for the railways. But it is not until the last line, and this is the place that some of the helpers had withdrawn to die, do we actually grasp the meaning of the black shapes. Those bizarre shapes, leaning and clinging in pain and abandonment, Marlowe realizes, are nothing but emaciated and dying Africans, African workers, who are the apparent beneficiaries of European colonial progress. So, this slight delay in decoding the reality experienced by Marlowe is actually indicative of how the truth of colonial discourse is disjointed from the colonial reality. Marlowe takes time to grasp what is happening around him precisely because, as a European, fed on the myth of colonialism as a civilizing mission, he finds it difficult to make sense of a reality that is so far removed from any trace of civilized behavior and of progress. Now, this disparity between a discourse which presents colonialism as a civilizing mission and the colonial reality is, however, most powerfully represented through Marlowe's discovery of the character called Kurtz. But before Marlowe even gets to meet Kurtz in person, he hears about him. He hears him being praised as a prodigy, as a superior being who really personifies all the civilizational virtues of Europe. So, he is presented as this iconic European. And Kurtz is also praised for being one of the most efficient agents who can procure an astonishing amount of ivory from the interiors of Africa to be shipped to Europe. And ivory, of course, was one of the most prized resources that European colonizers extracted from the Congo region for their domestic consumption. Now, when Marlowe finally gets to meet Kurtz in the inner station, he is again confronted with a reality that is radically different from the discourse about Kurtz, and it is so radically different that he finds it difficult to make sense of the reality that he encounters when he actually meets Kurtz or goes to the inner station where Kurtz is located. Here again, there is a masterful use of the technique of delayed decoding. Thus, when Marlowe sees Kurtz's house by the river for the first time, and by now Marlowe has journeyed from outer station through central station to inner station, where he finds Kurtz's house, and he first sees it through his binoculars, and he is immediately struck by the number of poles, wooden poles surrounding the house, with what appeared to be ornamental knobs on the top. It is only after a substantial delay and careful observation that Marlowe realizes that these knobs are something more sinister than merely ornamental woodwork. With mounting horror, Marlowe recognizes them as dried and shrunken heads of Africans, which Kurtz had severed from the bodies of the native villagers to spread terror among the local population. This horrible exercise was in fact how Kurtz compelled the locals to hunt for ivory on his behalf. This was in fact the secret of his efficiency as a colonial agent. At this point in the novel, the title Heart of Darkness assumes a new and altered significance. Darkness ceases to be a qualification of Africa and Africans, and becomes associated with the iconic European figure of Kurtz and the process of colonial extraction of resources that Kurtz represents. Thus, Conrad's novel really turns, what it actually does here is it really turns the colonial discourse on its head and explodes the myth of civilizing mission by placing it against the brutal realities of colonialism. And seen from this perspective, Heart of Darkness appears to be Conrad's contrapuntal reading of the colonial discourse. So, as discussed in our previous lecture, you will know that a contrapuntal reading attempts to read a discourse against the grain, against the ideological bias that underlines a particular discourse, so as to bring out its fault lines. And this is precisely what Heart of Darkness does with the colonial discourse. It brings out the biases, the contradictions and the falsehood that underlines it. But at this point we come across another question. Can we also read the novel Heart of Darkness contrapuntally? After all, the novel, in spite of its anti-European orientation, is itself a product of European metropolitan culture. And this is an important question that we will take up in our next lecture. Thank you.